Yeah, we are live on YouTube.
Yes.
Just
All
check if you're
right.
live on Twitter as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
I guess yes, we are. I got notification.
Okay, sure. We can start it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, people keep joining. Cool. Hey everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are joining across the global. So today we are here with our episode 2, this time live with video, bringing life to crypto accounts with AI agents with the Brewit team, Brewit baristas, and whatever you call. So we have Kaushik and Rohan here on the screen, the co-founders of Brewit. We're going to explore the journey and their experiences and how they started this Brewit and all, the backstory and all. Excited.
Yeah, thanks, Yoram. I think we should wait. Should we wait a couple of minutes, or we can start with this?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll wait.
Yes.
So, how is Hyderabad? Is it raining?
Yeah, it does. We don't know when it rains. It's raining back and forth every day.
Okay. Cool. Maybe we'll just wait for 1 2 minutes. I think then we will start with our intros and. Um,
Sure. Sure.
but yeah, like first time streaming is like exciting. A lot of pieces that we're figuring out as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think looks like we have like 10 people on the stream on Twitter at least. You can see some messages as well.
Wow. I think more people gonna join.
Mhm. I can see some messages on my YouTube as well.
Yeah, maybe we can wait another 5 minutes and get started.
I
Yeah.
think 1 minute should be fine. Maybe we'll just start with a little bit of intro and then keep going.
Yes.
You can always rejoin.
Wow. I think on Twitter we have 20 people. Pretty
That's
excited.
cool.
Yes.
Let's go. I think,
Let's go. How
yeah,
about we start with introductions, sharing each
yeah,
other
yeah,
what we have done so far and how we have started this journey? Koshik, why don't you start?
yeah, definitely. I think this is fascinating to go like live streaming because not a lot of uh, people do this in crypto. Like space is something that is very popular. But yeah, we like doing spaces as well, like which keeps engaging. Like have a speaker talk about particular thing, and then like a lot of question and answers. But I think bringing the faces and doing something a demo, which we always wanted to do. Like we wanted to show what we have been building, what we have people have been experiencing with our application, what the direction looks like with some of the cool things that we are doing. I think streaming is something perfect for us. We have been talking to a bunch of people who take advantage of this platform specifically in crypto, and we have been seeing this happen a lot as well. I think yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, just a little bit of background of myself. Like I've been in crypto for full time for more than 7 years. Joined came came to the space around 2018, explored a lot of bunch of things. I've authored a book along the way, like in the initial phases, I would say, because there were not a lot of content around crypto, how to build tools, how to build applications, and all. So specifically in the Ethereum ecosystem, and obviously we come to this space for a whole lot of different reasons. For me, cryptography and learning about the economics of crypto was fascinating, but I got hooked into the builder side, building products, specifically on the payment infrastructure and the wallet infrastructure, because I think that's where the most of the things reside. Like, for example, if somebody, we still know that the DeFi is one of the most useful use cases, the use cases that actually make sense, and a lot of people come to that as a gateway. And I think wallets and onboarding part is very essential for that. So I've been spending a lot of time, more than 5 years, in this space, different technology, how we can make sure the either the security part, user experience part, make it better and all. But yeah, finally we entered into a whole lot of different ecosystem. We saw a lot of this technology play narratives and make the experiences better. So currently we are working on this smart account infrastructure, which is actually making an impact on user experiences, making the security better. We see there is a whole new vision that we can create, make the experience of crypto something that people are very familiar with already, and make it much more better, because it adds a self-custody layer as well, right? So crypto is something that will make it like everything better in terms of how we deal with the economy. But if we give the same experience that people are very familiar, we can make it much more better. Like, we can bring everybody on chain. That's a word which is popular. Yeah, so Brew It is a journey that makes it happen. So very excited about journey Brew It, which makes the crypto accounts accessible for everyone. Either it's an institutions with more security, either it's an individual with the experience, or AI agent itself, just to give the flexibility to how to manage the funds and everything. So very excited. So some of the things that we'll be showing in this space as well, stream as well, that we are very excited. So probably we are first time showing our audience and users how we can leverage and make the experience of the Brew It users much more impactful. So happy to
Yeah,
be here.
that's awesome, Kaushik. Thanks for sharing all your experience. But yeah, I want to ask you something. Like you said, you have written the book and built multiple projects before, getting into Prove It. And while going through Prove It, we always see AI, agents, and Web3 going together. What do you think? Like, writing a book to, coming here and speaking about AI agents and all, how this evolving, the journey has been, and how do you see this crypto, evolving over the years? I have seen some memes where like people found a pen drive of their grandfather or their father, yeah, inserting it into their systems and checking, oh, they have some Bitcoin there, or they found some crypto over there. So now, making it pretty easy for everyone. So how you see this overall evolving of the crypto ecosystem?
Yeah, like I think it has. It felt like there was, like we were actually very early. Like people say, right? Like crypto is pretty early and everything. So I honestly don't believe that narrative fully. Like we probably are not early in terms of the economy of crypto. But when we came into this ecosystem, yeah, it was early, but the tech was also pretty early. Like everything was pretty
Yeah.
early. So seeing that from the beginning, like where we actually it felt like crypto was only meant for either to put the money and like make it grow for people who already know what's happening behind the scenes. Like for example, banking sector is something that was mostly accessible for bigger industries, bigger people, right? Like back then, before coming to the hands of it. So it felt like that, it was only for the institutions to like basically do the investments or be a whale and everything. And or the other end was that crypto made it seem accessible for developers. You can build stuffs on it. That was something that was created, like everything was open, you could just read about it. But yeah, it was hard for everybody to understand, but there was always a way you could just find out. So it felt like we were we were that part of it. Like we could understand, okay, we could build anything. So that was quite familiar, I would say, when we come from the Web 2 sector. uh,
Yeah.
yes. So by the way, I think we have one more person joining us. He is like one of my
Oh,
old
wow.
friend, colleague of one of my first companies that I've worked on, and so he has a background of working on the AI. He has also worked on the ML when the AI was pretty early. I would like to bring him in stage. I think probably we'll get an intro from him as well, and maybe we can go from it, like the start of Provide.
Yeah,
So just to
absolutely.
introduce everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Sharon. So we are just
Hey
going with
Sharon,
the introductions.
great to see
Yeah,
you.
I think Sharon is on mute. I think still I'm unable to
Yeah,
listen
still
to
we can't
Sharon.
hear you, Sharon.
Yeah.
Okay, let me reconnect.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
again.
Yes, it's
Yes.
working now. Oh,
All
I
right.
think he might be rejoining. Yeah. Cool. That's
That's like, I
cool.
think Rohan, probably you can talk a little bit
Yeah.
about yourself, and then
Yeah.
can bring in
Yeah, man.
Sharon as
Sure, sure. Like, yeah, 2015 when I started my entrepreneurship journey, but I was like on and off about crypto, like watching what is happening in the space, but didn't deep dive into it. But when 2020 hit, like like world is going to end, right? So everyone thought the same, and uh, let's do something crazy and like try diversifying my portfolio. That's how I discovered like dive deeper into Ethereum and Bitcoin. And it was when I started like learning about deep diving into it, but there was it was really fascinating that you can build a economy like which is parallel to any centralized authority, right? That was really fascinating. And the tech was even more fascinating, actually, how you can achieve consensus using BFT, right, at that time. So that was really interesting for me. And uh, there was no way for me to like buy crypto back then. So I started mining crypto. So like I was mining Ethereum using my GPUs at my home, and accumulated some ETH, lost that ETH in all the process. And finally, like I realized, okay, this is a really big industry, and like I want to build something cool in this industry. I don't want to go anywhere else. So that is when I started attending different conferences where I met Kaushik, Shivaram as well, and started building my own projects, like some side projects. Later joined Quill Audits as senior front end dev, worked over there, launched like 6 or 7 projects in crypto. And then I thought, okay, man, this is not very personal to me. Let's solve a problem which users are facing. That is when like me and Kaushik, we got back each other. Like what I was very curious, like what he was working on, and he was on a different level when we met again. So that is how we started last year, building like brainstorming on Brew It, building little POCs of like delegation. And that is when it hit. When we showed it to people, they were like shocked, like you can do such kind of things in crypto. So we hacked in multiple hackathons, won it. uh, and then we decided, okay, this is like enough now, man. We have to go to market for sure and like test our skills.
Yeah. That's great. Mining Bitcoin to building a product,
Yeah,
that's really awesome. And you have a lot of journey in between as well as a dev
true,
working at Quill Audits, building multiple products. I think that been a roller coaster journey for you. But yeah,
true, true,
pretty
true.
excited to explore what you guys are building under the hood at Brew It and showcase to our audience today with all the amazing cool features. And yeah, I'm listening lot of great feedback on the UI UX part, and I know who is cooking behind it. So awesome work, Rohan.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Thanks, man. But yeah, I think from 2020 to now, the crypto user experience like enhanced a lot because tech has
Yeah,
moved a lot in these years, and we
right.
are working on the cutting edge of it to bring more people into crypto.
Yeah,
So that is really exciting. When I show this to a new person, it is a no-brainer, right? How to create a wallet.
yeah,
I need not explain
true.
anything. It comes naturally to them. So
Yeah,
yeah, pretty exciting times ahead, man. Like because this year and the next year, it's going to be crazy. Where we
true.
try to bring in more
Absolutely.
people into crypto, exposure to crypto, achieve that financial freedom. That is our goal. and will give our users all the tools to explore crypto without understanding anything about it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think Kaushik has some cool things ready anyway. So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
excited to see that in live.
Awesome. I think,
Excited
Hey,
yeah,
as
hi
well. I
Sharon.
Sharon,
think,
why don't
yeah,
you, yeah,
I think Sharon is
introduce
back, so
yourself?
we can just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear it.
All right, finally. Hey, yeah, I'm Sharan. I came to Bangalore in 14 and was here since then. I work with Kaushik, I think from 16 to 18. And then around the same
Yes.
time, I think we published the book at the same time. So Kaushik did on
Yes.
blockchain, and I did on PyTorch, which is the framework that all the AI models that's running on. So like OpenAI models, all of those are built on top of the framework PyTorch. It's like super early. I think it's like where there were only 10 or 12 people contributing to PyTorch, and PyTorch was under Facebook. And then through that contribution, I met another guy, Luca. He's now leading PyTorch, the org itself. PyTorch is under Apache now, not under Facebook anymore. Then I ended up working for him for a while. Then we worked for Redis, and we built Redis AI, which is a AI runtime, which is probably the first scalable AI runtime that existed. But then that was stopped at some point. We got acquired to another company called Lightning, Lightning.ai, where we built infrastructure to scale AI training in the range of OpenAI or Grok or that kind of scale. Like, so you can take like thousands of GPUs, and then because these models are pretty large, right? You can't really put one model on one GPU itself. So the one model itself has to shard into multiple GPUs. And then when you do that at scale, there's like 1,000 things that could go wrong. Not just inference, right, but also training. Because when you train it on like 100,000 GPUs and if one node is going down, the whole training loop sort of stuck, and that costs you a lot of money because you are on the clock. You want to finish the training in like X amount of days. So we were doing that, and then 2021, I left and started another company. And then about 3 months ago, stopped everything else. So I had an agency gig on the side, and then the other company. So about 3 months ago, stopped everything and started to focus on building AI agents for inbound marketing. One agent, AI agent for inbound marketing. So it's essentially to help you because in inbound marketing, almost all the marketing, there's like a 30% of creative work, but about 70% of repetitive, mundane, boring tasks. So we're trying to automate that 70%. So marketers can focus on the 30% of creative work, whether that's writing a blog post or writing a social media post or whatever, and then automate the whole rest of everything, and then giving this ability to founders who does not really have the scale or time or money to do or compete with the big players who are doing inbound marketing at scale. So that's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome, Sharon. I
Pretty
think you've
interesting.
been a amazing
So
AI dev since pretty long. So
Debatable, but
when you
yes.
say
that's what
yeah, when you say PyTorch,
that's
like
what
I remember
fascinating
back in
about.
yeah, so back in around
No, I was saying
2017,
that's
18.
what fascinating about Sherin, that like he was one of the early people I have met who was in actual even before LLMs. Everybody started through LLM, but I was
Yeah,
hearing machine learning and the very basics of machine learning, not even the usable part, but actually the technology that we just like crypto started with cryptography stuff, or like proof of work. People started to learn about that
Yeah.
thing. So I met Sherin when the AI was at that state. So it was pretty cool to see his journey, and he believed in that. So something like not everyone actually believed that it will go into this stage. When he used to explain me at that
yeah.
time that it's going to happen, maybe I did not optimistically believe him, but now we actually can see what's happening. That's
I was lucky to surrounded by a couple of amazing people who actually believed and gave me enough insight that this is gonna be a thing. I think just to connect to what Kaushik said, the first paper, the Transformer, which is the foundation of all the LLM, came out in 2018. So we started. I think we at the place where we work also, we started to some sort of AI in 16 itself. It's like 2 years before all of the base of the hype itself started. But yeah, I was super lucky to be surrounded by a lot of very good folks.
That's awesome. I think whenever I hear about PyTorch, like I remember the days around like 2017, 18, I guess, if I'm not wrong. I used to attend that Facebook Developer Circle events. They used to teach about like their latest project, this PyTorch, and then they used to have competitor products and TensorFlow. All these things are at that time all buzzwords for me. I used to explore scikit-learn and all this stuff, but yeah, later entered into full stack and then now exploring crypto. Yeah, great to see people who are building since that time. Yeah, awesome. Now, pretty excited with this space. Like today, we are going to exploring both the crypto plus AI and the AI agents, how they are making life easy, especially when you talk about crypto. So before diving in, yeah, small intro about me. I'm Shivram. Here I am with Bruvit. From past 3 years, I am working with Hyderabad DAO, the community which me and Rohan are building together from past 3 years and building an active Web3 developer ecosystem here in Hyderabad. And yeah, now working with Broid. Previously, I'm with Aleph Zero. It's a Laban blockchain based out of Switzerland team and all. So I was leading the India ecosystem. So yeah, pretty excited with what's going up with Bruit and the amazing traction that we are getting and the great feedbacks and the power users which we are seeing every day. So yeah, can't wait to see what are the latest updates from Rohan and then Kaushik as well.
Kaushik, you're on mute.
yeah.
Yes.
Thanks everyone for the wonderful intro. I think people got a gist of each one's background and what we are working on. I think now it's time to give the background of Bruit maybe, or probably some of the stuffs that we have built over the time, what we have achieved, and what the direction, cool things that we want to show. So one of the reasons that we created this stream is that when we were experimenting with some things, we found it okay, we need to show it to people that maybe it's not production ready, but before that only we can show to people, does it make sense, or talk to people like Sherin and figure out the way we could actually enhance this experience for everything. So one of the things we have been talking about intersection of crypto and AI from pretty long time. So I think it's been happening since the ChatGPT has taken over. Like people want to see bridge the two things that is buzzword. Like crypto is a buzzword, AI is a buzzword. But honestly, since the ChatGPT era, it has seen the moment of that what the consumer application looks like for an AI. Crypto for a consumer app, we have like whole lot of different consumer app for different kind of people, but we don't have that one consumer app that is very attractive that anybody can use, that can go viral. We still don't have that moment. And probably crypto and AI interaction is where we can actually, or the intersection is where we can make sense out of it. We can actually, because crypto sometimes feel fascinating, but sometimes it feels very, you could say, laggy, or people will be like, the confirmation of that transaction takes like 10 seconds. If I use an applications of neobanking or UPI, it will happen in seconds. What's so special about it? Unless they know that part of self-custody or the freedom that crypto brings in, it's not gonna excite them a lot, because there is a lot of education that is involved to convince them, and that's not something that's very exciting when you are explaining. But we have to show that wow moment. So I think the wow moment will always happen when we can actually show that your banking experience can take advantage of the AI, right? So which is not going to happen very quite easily with the existing banking experience, because there's a lot of closed doors. You'll have to get permissions, licenses to integrate with something that is very popular in AI space. But since this on-chain thing is quite open, that anybody can interact, anybody can build stuff over it, just like you just take an LLM, host it on your own. Open source LLMs are there. You can do experiment with this. Crypto is also something very similar, right? So there is no regulations required if you're purely building on that crypto infrastructure. So that's where the intersection makes sense, and we have to find that wow moment here. And I think we are experimenting with this. So most of the people definitely try to think about crypto and AI intersection, how the crypto technology we can make it better. So, for example, how you can make the consensus layer better with AI. So that's something that is happening a lot, but I think that has not taken a good shape, I would say, because there is a lot of experiment that's going to happen. But what we can actually do is that direct intersection of agents. So agents is something that makes sense very much for crypto, because crypto was actually built for anyone to have a account, right? Let's say you go to a bank account, you need a lot of KYC to be done. You need a lot of qualification to get a bank account. At least when I was a kid, the first time I got a bank account, it was a lot of process, I would say. Right now, it had eased, even the KYC has eased, but still there is a lot of regulation around it, which is again a good thing and obviously a bad thing for a lot of reasons. A lot of censorship is there when uh, interact with the banking account. So in crypto, the idea is that it's not just for humans. You can actually give the crypto account for the whole economy. Like it doesn't have to be, because we estimate that one of the things that a lot of people are estimating in the agent space is that a lot of jobs would be taken over by the agents for something like Sherin is building. I'm not saying it's going to take over completely, but it's going to reduce that percentage of a lot of these redundant tasks done by redundant teams. You can automate that in a clever way, put it, package it, and give it to users, right? So that is why we would want these agents to also have a on-chain economy, not just banking economy. So that is possible with this intersection. So that is why when the agents market took over, a lot of buzz was there. Even the crypto saw that sudden buzz in, a lot of people were building on the agents, and basically the probably one of the wrong thing that was happening is that they were just leveraging it to tokenize. They just have an agent, that each agent will have its token, so the token agent will have its valuation. But the thing is that we can actually make the experience of users also better with this agent, not just creating a new agent and give it an account, but we can make the agent be an assistant or maybe a continuous agent. It doesn't have to be an assistant. It can actually be your agent who will do all the tasks for you. You will interact to and fro with you, not just give you a suggestion like an assistant, but suggestions which is interacting your lifestyle and giving you autonomous suggestions, right? So there's a lot of possibility if you think in a really big angle. And yeah, so one of the things that in Brewit, what we are very excited is our vision aligns with the agents, because we have been creating this different narrative for the crypto wallets. Because when you're joining into or coming into the crypto ecosystem, most of them right now how to get an extension or create a seed phrase, then you get a wallet, you have to back up that seed phrase, and there's a lot of to and fro both for the onboarding and security. And then after that you need gas token to do the transaction, you need to learn about all the protocols, connect wallet, disconnect, and everything. So that's a friction for the wallet space. So what we are trying to in Brewit is getting that experience of banking sector that people are very familiar with, or web 2 sector which people are very familiar with. They call it as accounts. So each user, each machine, each institution, everyone should get an on-chain account, and that should be very secure, and that should be very easy for anyone to use it, right? So not just onboarding and then you should be like very sure that I can upgrade my security as I go. It shouldn't be first time, okay, you have this security, it's a static security, one-time security, you will not be able to upgrade. Because banking sector also gives that security of, okay, you on board, you add a 2FA when you want. If you want nominee, you can add that, all these features. So we rethought this wallet sector as a banking account. So now you can give that experience for everyone, agents, institutions, and then anyone who is quite new to crypto. Just everyone having that whatever experience they need, not just a single static experience. You choose your experience. So yeah, so we have a great journey. We have been live for 4 months in consumer app, because one of the things that we wanted to build, we had infrastructure of a lot of things. We're building on a cutting edge tool called account abstraction, where you can actually abstract away a lot of things, such as sponsoring the gas, validating your authentication. You can have different kind of authentication as well. And then we behind the scenes, we are using one of the battle tested smart accounts, which is safe accounts, which has more than 120 billion dollar worth of assets locked across a lot of these protocols. So yeah, we have been taking that infrastructure and then we combined all this experience and gave it to users packaging it. So we had that experience with the infrastructure from 1.5 year, 2 years. But the first thing that we did improve it was package it and give it as a consumer user so that they don't have to worry about it. We guarantee these things. When you want to upgrade your experience, when you want to upgrade your security, you can do that, but get started and experience it and then you upgrade it like that. So we have like close to 1,500 users in 4 months, like really active users. A lot of people do different stuff on our application. So we have like very seamless transfers, very seamless swaps, bridges. They don't have to worry about what chain they are, completely abstracted. So you will get to know the experience when you join. It feels very familiar, like a new banking wallet or account. And then we have like a lot of people in crypto, they want to come and do the investment, and that's something that we learned through the exchanges and all. They do want to have hold funds in stable coins or Ethereum, and then they can earn yield on top of it, like earn interest. So we released a feature called Earn in like 1.5 month back, and like more than 50% of the assets that in our accounts are actually locked in on right now. So which is a very good validation that as we give more features in the consumer app, people are actually using that. So yeah, like we have crossed $1 million worth of transactions in our infrastructure overall, mostly through the consumer app itself. And then we have like a few DAOs onboarded, using including the Hyderabad DAO also use it as a treasury. And now we are venturing into the direction of we have experimented our infrastructure with developers as well, where people can build. One of the coolest thing that we were talking about is delegation. Is you can actually have agents or anyone services you delegate your funds, users funds, so that they can do tasks on behalf of users, which we call as a delegated account. So if a user has $1,000 and they just can give $100 access to their family, friends, or anyone, like it could be services, agents, and all those sort of things. So that was one of our highlighted feature. And in both in the institution, the DAOs use this feature, and also for agents, it makes sense for do the automations or take decisions on users' behalf. But you should also make sure that they don't overspend it. You should have like certain protocols of security, when to stop, when to do all this thing. All these are completely configurable through a delegated account. So we released this SDK for delegated accounts, and we experimented in 2 hackathons, specifically in the Monad ecosystem. We got to like few of the projects built, and in both the hackathons, the winners were built on top of our delegation toolkit. Which was one of the project was gaming. So one of the project was actually called Mono SMS, and it was a off-chain agent where instead of you doing a transaction online, you can actually use this agent to do a transaction offline when you're offline from internet, just through SMS and all. So basically, we gave access to this Mono SMS the account, and it was able to understand what you're talking and then do the transaction. And there was other project, which one in Bangalore was on the betting platform. Betting platform is also pretty popular, where the agents are taking decisions on the betting, and it was I think it was used for fund dispersal and then identifying who was the winners, and the agent was used to delegate funds and all. So it was pretty cool to see what people can build. And we saw this narrative of agents a lot, and then we saw that there is a really powerful thing that we can do, and then we started building our own integrations with agents. And one of the first thing that we did was integrated one of the uh, popular in crypto and in non-crypto as well. It was pretty similar to Perplexity, called Bindi AI. So they have all these apps integrated from Web 2 and Web 3 as well, where you can just talk and it will get the app into your chat, and then you can do the transaction. So we integrated our account into it just to test a lot of flows. It's pretty interesting, and we are happy to show the demo as well. Like a lot of things we want to experiment and show how it goes. Yeah, so that's where we are, and pretty interesting to see the vision of through this into the agent.
Yeah, Kaushik. I think if you have explained all these things 5 years ago, people would might have thinking, "Oh, this guy is just making up things." But we are making their dreams true. The OG crypto users back then who used to mine Bitcoin, like Rohan, for example. So people
Mhm.
like them might have dreamt of, okay, we should have something like one app with all these cool features, be it like account abstraction, delegation, and automation. Now with AI agents, I think yeah, it's a whole pack of one single application with all cool features. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty excited for the demo as well.
yeah. Currently, like there is a lot of fragmentation in crypto, right? For each
Yeah,
purpose, you create a new wallet, put money over there, you forget that wallet, you discover it
yeah,
later. So
later.
I think delegation will reduce that fragmentation like a lot. So you
Yes.
I
have one
think
wallet we can serve for all the purposes. That is the goal, and yeah, pretty
yeah,
excited
I
for that
think
demo. Well,
yeah, I think on top of it, we are live on like almost like 13 chains, right? So that makes even more,
yes,
compatible to each and every other chain lovers,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
the
including
people who are testing, yeah,
true, true, true,
the latest
including
on it.
mainnet,
Yeah,
yeah, including mainnet and the testnet, monad testnet, and all the major L2s. Like we are live, so that should
Yeah.
bring in more people, and yeah,
yeah,
So one of the things I think we did, like, cool, was like go to the consumer, because we wanted to give this experience to the consumer and then come to the agents. Because if we cannot get to know the consumer's requirement, institutional requirement, we cannot cater to agents for sure, because agents are basically most of the time substitutes to consumer. Now we know that all the things are there in place, and then the integration makes sense with any agents, right? AI agents, because yeah.
yeah, the
true,
basic
absolutely.
infrastructure is already done. So this can be your main wallet. That was the main problem we wanted to tackle in the start, so that you instead of like just moving some funds, trying it out, you can move the entire fund and like act accordingly. So that is why we took the top-down approach than the bottom-down from agents. We took the top-down approach, like building basic infrastructure, where at least you can view your portfolio, how much you have on each chain, and chain abstraction as well. Like, need not worry about which chain, how much assets you have, and everything. So that is why we took the top-down approach, and we are at the right time at the right place now, where now we can dive deeper into the AI agents and extend our interface by like 100 times, right? So instead of building interfaces for everything, there will be one interface for the agent where you will be talking, and like agent will be doing for you things for you on chain. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, Kaushik,
So
like let's see it in action, man. Like,
Yes, yes. So just before I probably present my screen and go through our applications, delegations, and then agents thing, yeah, I just wanted to ask Sherin, what do you think about? Yeah, like I think I talked a lot, my part about the intersection of crypto and AI, and then what do you think? Being working in the AI agent space, or like past with the non-AI agent space, what do you think will be the like perfect intersection you see in crypto and AI agents?
No, yeah. So I have been since 6 years. I've been new to crypto. Never. I mean, it's always fascinated me. I think all my experience, well, 90% of my experience with the crypto probably came through Kaushik. So yeah, like even now, very new to it. I think the biggest experience I have was losing about to about $5,000.
Wow.
This is pre-COVID. But yeah, that's my experience. But yeah, coming back to your question, I think um, one of the one of the key aspect that I've seen people discussing using crypto with AI agents is payments, right? Because AI agents are going to interact like humans, and while companies like Stripe have introduced payment system where agents can pay each other. So like Berlin is an agent. What so this is also came up in one few of our client calls, especially one of the client call which is a healthcare company. They have an agent that interact with their customers, and they sort of wanted to have an interface where they can talk to Berlin. Their agent can talk to Berlin and do things. So that's agent to agent communication. There's also agent to human communication. how does the payment work, right? Because SaaS payment, you sort of take a subscription, but in agents, so for example, Berlin sort of have this use case where Berlin will do inbound marketing for you, but there are cases where Berlin has to make payment on behalf of you as the user, whether that's another agent or whether that's under SaaS. So that's probably one of the use cases that came up a lot. And that's still right in front of us all the time. There are people trying to hack around this different ways to solve this. Frankly, I don't know if crypto is a solution, but I haven't seen any other solution that actually reliably handling this problem. So that's probably one of the biggest use cases that I've seen.
Yes, yeah, I think yeah, I completely agree. We also see a lot of use cases around definitely payments and finance, and even like when it comes to if they don't have any interaction with Web3 also, I think a lot of times for cross-border people can still use this. Like if there is a really good on-ramping, off-ramping solution, the agent is purely on the Web2. I think the settlement would be much faster and cheaper itself. Like we have been seeing a lot of these, yeah, definitely on-ramping, off-ramping works. There are crypto cards as well, which is introduced now. So which can actually do international transactions. So if agent can have access to partial access to these crypto cards, they can actually do transactions or, directly if let's say crypto makes sense for them for the payment, this is like ideal. You can do a lot of things with it. But yeah, if you want to still fall under the regulation, make sure you receive funds in, particular asset. I think one of the institution which is probably reading in USA is definitely Coinbase. They do a lot of on-ramping, off-ramping. They have been heavy on the agentic as well. Still there is no great, I would say, probably coolest integrations in a mass agents, but they have done pretty good, experiments with things. They are also using some really cool cutting-edge technology for the payments.
Right.
Yeah. So other thing, yeah.
No, sorry, I was just connecting to what you said. I don't believe we would see the use case ramping up in at least for next 1 year, right? Because agents are in super early stage. The tech itself is still in the early stage. There are different attempts and different spec and different policies being written. It's not secure enough. It's not intelligent enough to offload all the activities. So for, again, coming back to Berlin, there's like Berlin is supposed to be this 100% autonomous marketing agent that does 70% of your work, but we still have a lot of approval cases where human in the loop goes and do the approvals, because we don't believe agents are ready to completely autonomously do stuff, right? So there was an experiment run by Claude, I believe, the Anthropic, the people behind Claude, where they gave Claude, they called it Claudia, and they made Claudia as owner of a company, and basically let it run every business decision. It worked out really well for about a day or two. I think the early stage worked out really well, but then it went to chaos. So, because one of the employee asked like a random question about a stupid product to sell, and then it's just picked it up and went off guard. But yeah, so I think we are in a time where agents are getting mature, and once we start see the revolution that happened in SaaS happening in the agent space, we see this problem coming up, right? Because it has to be solved. And I'm quite certain there's like a bunch of YC companies probably, or VC funded companies working behind this problem because they see this coming. I know there are different attempts, but nothing is reliable, nothing is stable, because there's no actual need right now, but that should happen in a year or two.
Yes. Yeah. I think I lost you there for a little moment, but I think, yeah, makes sense. Like, probably we still pretty early in terms of a lot of factors. We are seeing a lot of experiments, but the direction that we are taking in, like the possibilities that we are seeing, definitely makes sense to dwell deep into it, build some secure product, build some really cool integration that is pretty solid, and which the traditional models couldn't do. I mean, traditional integrations couldn't do, which is without the agents. Yeah.
Yeah, until we achieve that AGI movement, right? I think still agents are not that smart. They can interpret really well and like what you're trying to do. But yeah, when we achieve that AGI, lot of these problems will be solved and security will be paramount when that happens, right? It can take your money off and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So the
yeah,
permissions and everything makes sense then. So yeah, everyone is building towards that. So I think it's moving very fast and
Yeah.
we'll achieve it in probably a year or two. So
Hmm.
much money is being
Even
put into it.
Yeah, even if you take about the narratives, like generally narratives will come when people are thinking about how this can be solved. But by the time it reaches public, they are not aware of how things work behind the scenes. So even same with
Yeah,
the AI. So just narrative is going on, but no one is not sure about how things work behind the scenes and how this gonna impact in a positive way and negative way. I think yeah, it will
yeah,
take some time, as you mentioned, the AGI part as well, Ron.
yeah. I think the curve is like upwards and like that intersection will happen at some point, like in 2 years,
True.
as Sharon mentioned. So either you are ahead or behind, but the intersection will happen and like will achieve like mass adoption.
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Definitely. I think one of the coolest thing the agents can do right now is like making the boring task faster, efficient, and like at
Oh.
least do those stuff. Right? Like not the smarter thing. So that
Hmm.
just at least stays okay. I mean, it still
Yeah.
feels like an assistant, but slightly more capable assistant. It can actually grow on you. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
So the way you train,
Yeah.
the way yeah, how you train with the
Context,
models and the data context,
a lot.
and yeah,
Yeah, a lot of context
obviously
matters.
true. But obviously, yeah, there is a lot of hallucination is also happening behind the scenes.
And like once it messes up that context part, like
Yeah.
it will go haywire. So
Yes. Yes. Cool. I think
okay,
yeah,
guys.
I think we can go with the demo part, Kaushik.
Yes.
All right.
I think we can show a little bit about Brew and then go into
Yeah.
whenever you're ready, Kaushik.
Yep. I'm just trying to bring my screen to stage one second.
Yeah. It's visible.
Okay. Cool. I think yeah, we talked a lot about things. Now we'll just show a little bit of what Brewit is, and then how cool demos with agents. I think. Yeah, I'll just give a little bit of how the onboarding thing works here. So as I was talking about, right, like it's built for consumers, for anybody to use. Institutions, if they want to leverage different authentication mechanism, add 2FAs, they could do that as well. So one of the coolest thing, a lot of people, we still have like more than 54% of the people actually using social logins, because they just want to experiment and then add their security on top of it. But security wise, passkeys are one of the most used in the banking sector as well, just to add one more layer of protection and just to bring that feeling that as long as you have phone in your hand, like nobody can actually steal your funds, right? Like I have like bunch of accounts here, so I've just created a new account here. I'm just logging with that. So yeah, this has some. I just added some like $6 just now, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes ago, and then yeah, these are the tokens that I have. And what I was telling you about the experience is that the send and swaps. Like I don't have any tokens right now, as you can gas to pay right now, as you can see. But like I can do a transaction. I can just send a transaction of let's say 0.5. So how I can go to the contact. I don't think I have a contact. So Rohan Reddy has a. This is ENS Rohan Reddy. I think I know it. So I'll just click the. I can add to contact or just confirm transaction. It will go through. Right. So this is as easy as like interaction with any UPI applications or any new banking application that you see. So immediately it will go through the transaction. So yeah, it went through, and like you don't have to worry about Ether to pay it. What chain are you in? How to deposit gas tokens for that? Yeah, same thing goes with the swap as well. If I want to, let's say, swap one USDT to let's say USDT, or let's say I get a different token, let's say chain link. just swap, or I can actually select different chain as well. If people are familiar with different chain and they want a different chain, that's also possible to bridge across. So again, the experience is smooth. Yeah, the transaction will go through. Yeah, so this is the experience part we are talking about. Yeah, it's swapped, right? So we have like bunch of other things that I was talking about. Like people can do one-click investment. If you have USDC, you have US, it will identify where you can earn yield on. You can just quickly deposit and earn this interest for a like for a week or month or year, how much interest I can earn. So pretty similar to the banking sector, but sometimes you can earn more as well, and you can withdraw anytime, all those sort of things. So people who want to do stable investment, this is most of the investment firms or institutions still use this feature. In terms of security as well, you can always upgrade your security to configure with multi-sig to make it much more secure for institutions. That's always possible, which is I personally use also for most of the funds. Like if it's more than like $1,000, $2,000, I configure it to multi-sig so that I have a backup. So anytime when some services goes down in Pruvit, like you can always use through Rabbi, Safe, or any client of Safe as well. So that is why we make it like much more interoperable, very similar to people who are familiar with banking sector in India, where a UPI application, the same bank will work across different UPI apps. So the same thing is here as well. As long as Safe is supported in multiple clients, they can use our application as well. Account as well. So this is where I wanted to show, and where we will be digging deep into the agents part is the delegation. So we have something called as the delegation account, where you can actually quickly give access to different users. I can just do a test user here, and then I can give limited access to particular tokens. I can give like certain funds, or I can give full access as well. Swap all the different permissions I want, add it. And there are a bunch of different ways to delegate it. Like if they are new users, I can just ask their email address. They'll get a confirmation. After that, even if they're not in Brewit, the first time they log in with this email, they will get access to that funds to do transactions. So that's what a delegated account. The passkey as well. So passkey is pretty useful when I use a desktop application and like I want to have some part of the spend on my phone. I generally use passkey to authenticate and then delegate to that account, so that when I log in with my phone, I can just when I want to pay somebody with crypto when I'm not in desktop, I can do that. Or if you want more security as well, you can use. And the other thing is that you can just use Brewit user to if they're already Brewit users, I can just scan and delegate them as well. So yeah, I'll not go into the delegation part because you can experiment. We have done some cool demos earlier as well, and we did talk about a lot that in space. Since today we are going to talk more about the agents. So there is already a delegation that I have created here, as you can see. So this is one of the old agents. Probably the name is different, but this is actually agent I'm going to use for Bindi as well. Bindi is, I'll again go to the Bindi. What I've right now done is give access to this agent for USDT and USDC spend and swap. So these are the two things that they can do. And it's a full access. So I can actually give a limited access as well. But as long as I have, let's say, $4 worth of USDC is there and $1 worth of USD, I can do the transaction. So the agent can do transaction on your behalf. So we have actually built an agent for this, and then we have integrated with the Bindi ecosystem. So I'll just give a quick intro of what the Bindi is. So Bindi is one of the coolest applications actually I've seen. So the cool thing about is that it's not just about interacting as with the AI, like something like Perplexity and all, but they also have a lot of integrations with the existing Web2 apps, such as Google Sheets, Splitwise, and a lot of these Web3 applications like Alchemy, DBank, Portfolio Manager, investments, and wallets and all. And you can see all this bunch of apps here. So AWS integrations and DigitalOcean, whatever you want to do, GCP, GitHub, MailChimp, SendGrid, and all those things. So basically, you can orchestrate a lot of things using the knowledge of the Clever agent. The Bindi indirectly uses like a bunch of different LLMs, I believe. So you can use that knowledge base, make it smarter, and then basically do an orchestration. So And most of the time you can schedule as well. You have a repetitive task, you can actually schedule to run, conditional based or trigger based. You could do all those things. It's pretty cool. And I honestly have played around with Perplexity and Bindi. So most of the time I actually ended up using Bindi for doing the flight tickets and all. So it basically gave me like really good suggestions on hotels, flight tickets and all, because it uses live data as well. So that's why, like, you can configure if the live data is not there. So if you know a particular API endpoint which gives a better access to the data, you can actually configure it, right? So yeah, that's why our choice was Bindi to integrate and just to experiment. The integrations are smooth as well. So we just want to show how cool this is, right? The integration. So what I'm going to do is, maybe since I've already integrated here, so as you can see, this is a Brewitt base agent. So I've given access to funds. All I have to do is just like a API key. So we give this data for the developers here, these API keys for this one. So currently, this is not full-fledged. The user can do it, but the devs can do it. But when we launch it, like, end users will be able to just add their keys or even authenticate directly with connecting their account when Bindi supports it, so that they don't have to go to and fro. It will be like very smooth, just like OAuth authentication, and you give like permission access after that. So I've already configured this particular agent. This has this kind of like permissions. What I'm going to do, since already it has a USDT access, I'll tell send 0.01 USDC. So it has USDT, right? To so my own account, which is Kaushik.8. So one of my wallet addresses. So what it's trying to do is that, okay, it picked already Brewitt base agent to do a transaction, and Alchemy so basically to resolve my ENS. So I don't even have to tell that what address it is. So it already got this address here, and it's actually ready to do a transaction. So hopefully, the one of the other things it might have done is to understand what that USDC is. So let's see if it has figured out. So yeah, it just asks for confirmation. I'm going to do confirm. Let's see if this goes through. Oh yeah, it failed. So I probably know the reason. Okay, so it just didn't pick this. I don't have a good global this configure the context for it. So I'll just tell token is USDC. Just resolve the token as well. Resolve USDC. So it knows that it's doing in that particular network. So it will identify that on that C, it's base chain. Yeah, it got the address, and yeah, I have to tell do transaction. Still this agent flow has to be learned. So I think once that context of agent flow is there, it will get to know what it is. So now it has to go through. Let's see. Yeah, so the transaction is done. And also I can orchestrate saying that send an email to Kaushik if I know the Kaushik is. So what I'll just check my transaction history as well, right? Here, if you go, yeah, it's already here. Send 0.01 USDC to Kaushik.it. So that's like a very simple payment thing that the agent can actually do. Isn't it cool that I didn't come to this app? And if I'll do one more thing, probably is just take out the delegation. I'll just delete this USDC access, and then let's see if it can do it. So now I just had updated the permissions for this. Okay, so the permission should be updated. Yes. So now let's do that again. It has a balance, right? So let's say try again. Okay, it's doing the same transaction. Let's confirm. This should fail. Let's see. See, it's the same transaction as you can see, 0.01 tokens. Yeah, it failed here. So transaction failed due to network. Okay, it doesn't know that it's permission issue, but it says network issue. But yeah, that's the delegation part I was talking about. So I'll just add the back USDC. Something happened. No, it did not go through. Yeah, so this shall update. So in that meantime, we'll figure out one more use case. I have a one more pretty cool use case where I have like created a spreadsheet here. So I already have this integration done with, I hope, with Sheets. Yeah, it's Sheets is there, Splitwise is there. So what I'm going to show is the how easily you can actually do the payment for like a bunch of people together, right? And orchestrate. So I've created this. Okay, this payment date is already there. I'm going to delete. I have a bunch of names, email, and there is one, I don't know the recipient, but I know this address, and then like bunch of other addresses, and then like some other tokens like USDC, USDT, USDC, like random tokens I have. Like you can give any token, and then this are status of pending. So let's ask AI to disperse this thing. Like I think I have a prompt here which actually made sense to me. Let's copy that prompt. So disperse the funds on base using monthly disbursement sheet. So this monthly disbursement sheet name, so it should identify that and update the status. And also I'll just say, also make sure resolve the tokens because it didn't resolve last time. So let's see. And I can also ask it to send mail. So let's see, I think I missed it. And send emails after success. Skip. Okay, it's still figuring out other agents, I think. Okay, pick the Google Sheet, but okay. So it did a lot of things as you can see, like Google Sheet. I can see a disbursement data it got and all the alchemist, resolve the names and everything, send emails. Okay, but I think probably this transaction failed. But yeah, let's try the transaction again. But resolve the tokens. This is the same issue that happened in the beginning. It did not resolve the tokens properly. Yeah. So as you can see, the cool thing is that it is bundling all these transactions. I don't have to send like individual transactions. So that's one of the cool things about Brew-it as well. You can actually bundle all these transactions. Especially it makes sense in the Ethereum mainnet. You can have like hundreds of different transactions, send in us hundreds of different transfers, different executions in a single transactions. So I just confirm. Saves a lot of gas and it saves a lot of time as well. So yeah, this transaction went through. Now it is updating the Google Sheets. Okay, now it's sending the email. Okay. Okay, I think I don't have the Google connected, but let me connect. Yeah, so in the meantime, I'll just show you the transaction here, which went through, right? So yeah, so here you should be able to see this transaction. This is a +3 transaction. So if I click on this explore, you should see all these small transactions done. So it's a single transaction, but all these different transfers. First one for 0.01. Yeah, the amount is right here. I don't see the amount. Okay, I think it messed up and updated my amounts. No worries. But yeah, this was different amounts that I had, and it updated it. Sorry, it sent the transactions. So Okay, I'm just giving the mail access as well to shoot the mail. But yeah, that's like the entire flow you can actually orchestrate to sending the emails. Yep, sent all the emails to 3 people. I hope my colleagues can confirm, Rohan and Sivaram. Maybe I can show it in the email as well. Okay, this is a different account.
Yeah, Kaushik, I received the mail.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
same
cool.
here, man. I got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
payment dispersed.
Just 0.012 USDT.
Yeah, this is how we can orchestrate like the entire thing without having to like confirm transaction on wallet, agents taking care of the entire, not just sending the funds, but the entire orchestration, right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can actually see that
Mm.
here as well.
Yeah, you can change things like according to any specific. Oh,
Yeah, some mail failed. Yeah, but because I don't have other person's email, I think. Yeah, this is the flow for one of the use cases. We can do a bunch of things with it as well, like add different stuff, and this makes sense for like fund dispersal in grants, fund dispersal in some institution. You can actually make it recurring by scheduling it as a like a background task and doing it in a frequency or something like that. So many things you could
and
do.
also,
So
I think really interesting use case will be like if when you pay out salaries every month starting, man. So it automatically, like I can give a sheet, like HR can give a sheet and automatically disperse those tokens to that respective addresses, right? That will be really interesting.
right, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
even
And most of the
if you are
language we
doing
used
some
are like
giveaways,
very normal here.
yeah,
True.
even if someone is doing any giveaway also, they can easily disperse or any
Oh yeah.
hackathon bounty.
Yes. So yeah, this makes sense of like institutions, DAOs, and like companies, and like they can come up with like whole different things. For example, one of the things is that we do have agent swaps as well. Let's say not just send as a payment, but it can figure out, okay, I don't have the USDC balance. Let me find out whether other tokens are there and just swap it and get the USDC and then send it. So this workflow would obviously require a lot of manual tasks to understand what are the tokens I have. And also sometimes you can actually have external agents, which are much, something like DBank or portfolio manager like Zeravan, get the transaction history. You can build some clever agents and identify which are the tokens that you actually want in your portfolio. If you don't want and you don't trade often, you can just swap it and then use it, get a USDC. Or sometimes what we can do is find out a different strategy on getting a loan to USDC and do payment as well. Like bunch of things you could do. Again, otherwise it'll be a lot of manual tasks, which I was telling Sherin as well back then. Um, he is currently the agents are pretty great at doing a lot of boring tasks, pretty seamless, and you could just talk to it. And even I think most of the time, what ChatGPT is doing or Perplexity, it's actually bringing that time to do the research pretty down, right? So if you otherwise you go to blogs, you go to all these different tweets and find out what is that best method to make it work. You just ask that, like it summarizes. And that's the same thing should be for the actions as well. Instead of doing all these boring things, the action should be like done pretty quickly, which you do not like to do often.
Yeah, true.
So one other thing, cool things I'll probably show is in adding an expense. Like it's also something that I found cool in integration, the splitwise expense. So what I'll do, I'll just find out what is this is. I'll just say I'll just add like through it expense. So like Rohan is already added in my splitwise. I'm pretty sure people are familiar with splitwise. It's just like splitting expenses and figuring out how to pay that later. But what if you can actually automate it? A lot of people don't use splitwise to make a payment, but just to keep track of things. But what if you can actually make that happen? So we can try that. So let's say I tell 40 rupees, and then this is I'll make like Rohan is the one who is paid for it. So I'll say paid by Rohan, so that I have to pay to him. My agent has to pay. So split equally. So that means I owe 20 rupees. Now I'll just add one more note as well, saying that like currently it doesn't have a payment integration with the Split, right? Splitwise doesn't have payment integration. So I'll just say, pay me. Are you fine with USDC? So I'll just send USDC. Pay me
Yeah.
USDC on base chain to Rohan Reddy.it. So this is his ENS address, which will resolve this to account address. So I'll just save this, save it. So this expense is there. So since Bindi is already configured to me, I'll just go to this chat itself. So because it might have better context about all the other things. So I'll say, settle the last expense. That's it. So the as minimum as I can. Let's see what it does. Okay, so it got the splitwise agent. That's what we wanted. It will get the last expenses. Okay, it found expense, brewed expense. So it finds that it's 40 rupees, Rohan. And also it found the note here. It says, let me resolve the Rohan Roti.in. So it resolved it. So hopefully the only mistake it was doing USDC, it has learned from it. Let's see. Oh yeah. See the USDC, it's already picked up, and also it converted the amount into 0.24, like equivalent to, I think it took around 85 rupees for one USDC, or you can actually get live feed as well if possible. And then it settled it, and hopefully it has settled here as well. And did you get Rohan? See, it also says Rohan Koshikar paid, and it added the note as well. Settlement paid on 0. Sent to this address, everything. So yeah, just one prompt and it settled it. So that's a cool thing. And I'll show you the transaction if you want. Yeah, so here's the transaction, 0.24 USDC to Rohan Reddy.it.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Pretty cool.
Yes, so this is the, like, as you can see, the splitwise was like hardly 3 words I prompted and it was able to do everything, right? So imagine like going to and fro messages with the friends, like all they added was your note saying that send this money, even though there's no payment integration directly with Splitwise. So if there was a better payment integration with Splitwise, you can, like, this is something that is very useful for like checkout. So the checkout can generate a, checkout link, and then you can just send it to them. And then I just say the agent that figure it out, whatever you want, send this payment to this checkout link. So that's also possible quite easily. So yeah, those are all the possibilities with payment. And I was telling, right, like there is a lot of things you could do with swaps, investments, all these DeFi protocols that you have, you can integrate it, and this make this Bindi agent or any other agent pretty cool, because now we have access to like all these apps with the help of these interactions with these kind of chat interfaces, or the aggregators of apps, aggregators of LLMs and everything. You have like, you can actually combine everything and give that experience. And honestly, I thought like when I was using Bindi, the experience with Web2 was great, and they don't have integration with the accounts for Web3, which is what we can bring in and give that on-chain write experience as well. Not just reading data from the on-chain data using Alchemy and all these tools, but you can actually write data or do transactions, and also making it much more in a secure way with this delegation of accounts, right, for the user. And at some point, it can actually do a lot of automations as well.
And also, I think pretty cool thing is you are always in control of what are the tokens like you are delegating to the agent. I think that is a pretty cool thing.
Yes, exactly. And like you can revoke anytime, you can delete agents and those sort of things.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that was the like demo with Bindi. Obviously, we wanted to show more. There are like a lot of bunch of things we could do. We thought like we will experiment that during the call itself. So maybe we can probably keep it for we have gone past 1 hour of our live stream. So maybe we can just talk a little bit.
Actually, like our live stream ended on the Twitter. It is not working, but YouTube is working perfectly. So yeah, one source is there.
Yeah, I think later on we
Oh,
can edit and post their
oh,
Twitter,
Yeah, yeah,
I
Twitter
think because we
YouTube link.
scheduled it for that particular time, so that was the
Yes.
mistake.
yeah, yeah. So what we'll do is like we'll download this video, like edit it a bit, and like probably we'll post it for the Twitter users as well.
Mm,
Cool.
So yeah,
yes, makes sense. So I think
but yeah, man.
Sherin had to drop as well. Like he had some other calls.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We can
But
bring
we
But
got
I
really
Ankit.
good number of attendees.
Yeah, I think the context problem will be solved if we give a default context already that, okay, resolve any ticker which comes in like USDT, USDC, any ticker coming in, resolve with this MCP, right? I think if we given a global context, need not repeat that stuff.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Mm.
I think Ankit is
But yeah,
also
it's
on
still
call.
in a test phase. I think this is pretty cool for the POC. Now we know like what agents can do, and we can
Yeah.
extend on top of this, work with the Bindi team and like extend it to Web3.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think that's what we. This intersection is like very uh, cool, and a lot of people definitely don't trust agents at this point, which Sharon was telling again and again, either the security part or the smartness part, because specifically in the crypto, it's permissionless, right? Anything could happen. There is no regulation. There is nobody is going to call and say that okay, there's some suspicious things happening. So we need this permissioning for
Yeah,
sure. Like we need to have
true,
probably
true.
multiple agents working together. So let's say there is a security agent which sees some malicious things happening in your account. It's doing a lot of transaction. Or there could be a delay module as well, which we can actually plug in, saying that okay, this transaction will not go through until some cooling period or something like that. So those things are always possible. We could just
And
say
even there could be a malicious MCP. Maybe like some app, their API got hacked also. So using delegation, I think we can prevent losing of that funds because it can
right,
interact with that specific address only anyway.
right.
Yeah. That would be crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because your wallet will never be drained with us.
True.
So that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ankit is here. Like Ankit, another AI person.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Yeah, Ankit. Why
Hey
don't
man,
you
what's
please
up?
introduce
Did you
so
yourself?
see the demo?
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, Bindi AI.
Yeah,
But yeah,
let's
giving
use
access
it.
to it and doing all the transactions is like seamless, like without giving any private key and all. Just do it with
Yeah,
the and goes to Pruitt, finds the address, send it. It's crazy.
all the heavy lifting is done by the AI. Like you simply prompt.
Mhm.
Also,
But
yeah,
yeah,
with the
Even
yeah.
please tell a little bit about yourself and like we'll get into.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, yeah, my name is Vijay. I currently work as a full stack developer at Skynet. And handle all the AI agentic part and the contracts part at Skynet. Like all we do is like protocol layer for all the apps which are available. Like similarly, how Bindi is doing, we create a layer on top of the existing apps, and we connect it with through NFT and like the payment. How it works is like you deposit some amount into the NFT, and that agent can only use that NFT to perform the actions. It cannot go exiting like that. So now, compared to Broid, it's like there's no transactions in between. It directly does a transaction in between. But here in this case, like you have to transfer some amount. So AI will only have access to that. And you can also withdraw anytime.
Hmm.
There are like
Interesting.
20 plus apps or so. We can create a Broid access point as well, which can get
True, true.
directly access to the wallet.
Yes, man.
Wow.
We can do that.
Yeah.
That will
Another
be really
integration like
interesting.
20.
Uh,
Yeah.
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 But I yeah, give you guys the context, Vijay is also behind the Mono SMS. So please, we already like I think Kaushik already explained a little bit about it. But yeah, what is your experience and like what is the problem you wanted to solve with Mono SMS? And yeah, please talk about that.
Yeah, Mono SMS is something like where you can give access to your wallet, and there'll be a backend service which gets access to your wallet with some limited permissions and all. And let's say when in some cases where you don't have access to the internet, you
Oh,
can
by
just
the way, using Bruit, right? Using Bruit
yeah,
SDK.
yeah, using Android SDK. Yeah, uh, basically the onboarding process will go like you log into the Mono SMS, you connect your Bruit wallet, you give delegate access inside the Bruit in your profile settings. You select your Mono SMS agent, grant the access, and then once you're done that, you're good to go. You can put your Mono SMS website away, and you can start sending SMS to the Mono SMS. You'll have a dedicated number where you can just simply send a SMS saying that, like, okay, let's say I want to swap one USDT to ETH, or you want to send one USDT to Rowan Reddy.eth. Basically, Mono SMS has an AI layer which gets this message, reads the message, checks your mobile number, checks your access on Bruit, and then it will process your text, and then it finds the action and does the action, and all through the Bruit agent, which is Mono SMS, and it will be doing transactions on the wallet based on the permission. So
So
in this
this is
case,
without
yeah,
the internet, and also
yeah,
nothing
you
is
don't
required.
need
Only signal like you need.
mobile signal is enough as of now. Like, let's say it's helpful when you are in travel most of the time, where you don't get
Yeah.
initial internet access. Let's say you have your crypto card, you want to send some funds to swipe, get the data. You can
Yeah,
send
this
that
is one.
to that
This
one,
is
and
backup of backup. So it's like last case. You don't have access to like internet. Also, you'll be able to. Yeah, this is pretty cool, man.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's how it should be.
Like
Like
how
there
you
has to
can
be
have
like
a.
multiple agents doing things, right? So Mono SMS will be one agent. So I think when Vijay was talking about like post hackathon, we wanted to build for most of the channels. It could be Telegram, WhatsApp, and everything. But you could choose
Oh
your
yeah.
medium, what you want. Like when there is no
Hmm.
network on the internet, you can use SMS like that. So it's pretty cool. That's where I think we saw the
Like
first use of all these apps that you can easily integrate with Fluid.
you have you said like you will be using Passkey as your backup account on your mobile, right? Similar to that,
Mhm.
I think Mono SMS can be another layer. Like even though if you have no internet, you can interact. So that is pretty interesting.
Yes.
looking
So
forward to
yeah,
this.
delegation. Yeah, there is with delegation there are a lot of possibilities, man. I think
Yeah, a lot.
it's going to change the crypto game for sure.
Yes. It was good to hear from Sherin as well. Like there is always a
Yeah.
need for the security factor, which not just in Web 2, Web 3, it's very critical to make sure that agents don't get access to funds that maliciously or accidentally do things. So yeah, like until fully we have trust on the agents, or as they evolve, I think this is something that's very critical for people or the agents.
True.
Yeah, I think the problem which Sharon mentioned, our delegation is the answer for that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
I
yeah,
think
man.
we need to do more such live sessions with more AI folks and Web2 folks who are into crypto, but they are not aware of all these latest advancements like EAP0002 delegation, account abstraction and stuff. So we can, get more insights, and even the attendees who are tapping different technologies, they will get a idea about how things are really working in the market. And yeah, absolutely they should try do it as well. So these all features they can really use live in their app itself, and yeah, there are a lot of amazing cool videos are also on the way. Uh, yeah, I think this will give more context to what's cooking behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think every month end we can give a digester about what we are doing at
Yes.
Brew. Actually show a face, talk to consumers directly. Yeah, that will be really good. But yeah, next month will be at I think token, but still we'll try to do something. for the users, like what is the progress we made in that month, and
Yeah,
so that our users can try it out, or like new users can explore it. So we'll do it every month for sure.
yeah,
So yeah, this is just like we could kicking start with this first
Yeah,
time.
yes,
so this is
absolutely.
something that we got excited and wanted to show. So definitely we will take it to production very soon, so that people can experiment this thing. And yeah, just exploring all the possibilities. And I think the vision of definitely Brew It is having that agentic account, or basically at least have that agentic experience in your account itself, which we are bringing to your account rather than you going and figuring out what to do with it. So everything will be like in-app in experience, because we have everything bind together, either the features, either the integrations. Yeah, we want to make it open as well, so that people can build, and like you can go to different platforms and do it. But watch out for our upcoming few of the releases where we are getting that in-app experience of agent as well. So people don't get to know that the agent is doing
Mhm.
things, but behind the scenes it will be like pretty cleverly doing some of the things smartly, such as smart
True.
session, yield rebalancing, and all. So people will experience
Yeah,
that in their consumer app.
Yeah, instead of like multiple accounts, multiple agents, like we have one account, multiple agents, like you can access through Brewit. So that is the goal we are working towards. And like this is one step we took now. I think by next month we'll have some crazy updates for you guys. We'll take something to
yes,
production so that everyone experience it. But we want to collect feedback, right? Like please tell us what you want, what is the new feature you want, or like any specific use case you want it now live. We'll try to get it done for you, man.
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just try it out and let us know. You're always up. Join our Telegram. There are amazing folks, power users, using Druid as their main wallet for all the
Yes.
transactions and the swaps. Since it's cashless and on mainnet, you can pay with multiple tokens as well. So that makes your life easy. Especially if you're into crypto full time, that's a much easier and fastest way to do the stuff out there. And yeah, obviously
Yeah.
with the AI features, it's going to be even more cooler.
Yeah. I think once you start using Brewit, right, like even CX, any EOA wallet, any smart account will feel like really old
Yeah,
and redundant.
absolutely.
So I think for anyone, like try Brewit and let us know your feedback.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, guys. With this, I think we can wrap up this AMA, live AMA,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah. Like,
And
thank you
thank
so much
you,
for like
Ankit,
Vijay and yeah, Sharin as well for
Sharon.
joining.
Thank you
He had
guys.
to
Yeah,
join, like, sorry, live in between. But yeah, like absolutely. I think we should get more people in. I think this is the
true.
start. Just experimenting with the stream. I think we had like really good demo interactions. So yeah, looking forward to the
True.
coming sessions.
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you,
Thank
Shivram.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Kaushik.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you,
much.
It
everyone.
was a
Thank you,
Have a
really,
guys.
great week.
really good call.
Yeah,
See you guys.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Guys,
Have a good
bye.
cheers.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.